Senior, the two worst vitamins that weaken your legs after 60. Have you ever noticed that after turning 60, your legs seem to be gradually losing strength? Do you feel like every step requires more effort than it used to? If walking, climbing stairs, or standing for extended periods has become more tiring, what I'm about to reveal could completely change your perspective on your health. There are certain foods you consume daily, seemingly harmless, that are literally sabotaging the strength of your legs. But the most shocking part of all? There are two nutrients that everyone considers beneficial. Two vitamins that you probably take regularly thinking you're doing good for your body. That could be the real culprits behind the muscle deterioration you're experiencing right now. Yes, you heard that right. Those pills you buy at the pharmacy, thinking you're protecting your health, might actually be accelerating muscle mass loss and severely compromising the stability of your legs. These supplements you take with the best intentions might be contributing to your frailty instead of strengthening you. In this video, I'll reveal the hidden truth behind these supplements and show you exactly which foods to avoid to regain your vitality, energy, and independence. You'll discover what's really causing that feeling of fatigue, swelling, stiffness, and pain that keeps recurring in your legs. Refined sweets. Silent enemies of your legs. Let's start by talking about those irresistible desserts that have accompanied happy moments in your life. Cakes, cookies, candies, and industrial ice cream hide a subtle danger for those who have passed 60. The refined sugar present in these foods triggers inflammatory reactions that directly strike muscles and joints, creating a hostile environment for the health of your legs. When you consume excessive amounts of sugar, your body develops insulin resistance, depriving muscles of the energy necessary to function properly. Without adequate energy, your muscles progressively weaken and lose efficiency. Additionally, every gram of excess sugar contributes to body weight accumulation, dramatically increasing the load on your legs. But there's much more. Sugar also compromises blood circulation, significantly reducing the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the muscle tissues of your legs. This drastically slows down the cellular regeneration process and makes muscle recovery extremely difficult after any physical activity, even the simplest ones. Industrial sweets also contain a myriad of preservatives, colorants, and chemical additives that amplify inflammatory processes in the body. These chemical elements disturb the body's natural balance and negatively influence the muscular system, creating a toxic environment that prevents tissue regeneration and strengthening. The most concerning aspect is that these effects accumulate over time. Every time you consume these sweets, you're essentially feeding a vicious cycle of inflammation and muscle degeneration. The final result is a progressive loss of strength, stability, and mobility in your legs that can seriously compromise your quality of life and independence. Fried foods, the double hit to your mobility. French fries, breaded chicken, donuts, and all those golden and crispy foods that seem so appetizing represent a serious and concrete threat to the health of your legs. Rich in trans and saturated fats, these foods dangerously elevate inflammatory markers in the body, causing muscle stiffness, joint pain, and predisposing muscles to accelerated deterioration. The fats contained in fried foods severely obstruct blood flow, drastically complicating muscle oxygenation. Compromised circulation deprives the body of the fundamental ability to heal and strengthen itself. Over time, this destructive mechanism progressively weakens the body's support structures and inexorably accelerates joint wear. Have you ever noticed that after a meal rich in fried foods, your legs feel incredibly heavier and more painful? It's not a coincidence. Your body is literally reacting to the surplus of harmful fats you've introduced. The prolonged and laborious digestion of these foods requires an enormous amount of energy, leaving significantly less available for proper muscle function and maintenance. The situation becomes even more serious when you consider that these fried foods also have extremely low nutritional density. This means that while they provide many harmful calories, they offer very few vitamins, minerals, and proteins that are truly useful for strengthening and maintaining muscles. It's like trying to fuel a precision machine with poor quality fuel. White bread, a false friend at your table. White bread, so common and seemingly harmless on our daily tables, hides significant pitfalls for those who want to maintain strong and stable legs over time. Produced with refined flour through intensive industrial processes, this food undergoes transformations that systematically eliminate most of the beneficial fibers and essential nutrients, essentially transforming it into an extremely fast-absorbing carbohydrate that causes harmful blood sugar spikes. These sudden and dramatic swings in blood sugar directly and negatively impact muscle health, generating waves of fatigue and weakness in the legs that can last for hours. Regular and continuous consumption causes profound metabolic imbalances, and the almost total lack of fiber dangerously increases insulin resistance, severely compromising glucose entry into muscle cells. The less energy your leg muscles receive, the more difficult and tiring it becomes to maintain their natural tone. This degenerative process can easily evolve into significant muscle mass loss, a phenomenon that is already naturally present and problematic with aging. White bread provides absolutely no high-quality proteins and essential minerals necessary for muscle recovery and maintenance, literally representing empty calories that systematically impoverish the body instead of nourishing it. If you're watching this video and recognize yourself in what I'm saying, please leave a comment below to let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications with the bell to always receive the best health advice that can really make a difference in your life. If this content is helping you better understand your situation, write 1 in the comments. If you don't find it useful, write 0. Your participation is fundamental to me. Alcohol, a silent metabolic saboteur. After 60, consuming alcoholic beverages becomes even more dangerous and harmful to the muscular and joint health of your legs. The mature body progressively becomes less efficient at metabolizing alcohol, dramatically amplifying its harmful effects on the entire organism. One of the main and most serious results is the significant difficulty in absorbing absolutely vital minerals like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. The progressive deficiency of these essential components systematically weakens muscles and makes bones dangerously fragile, exponentially increasing the risk of devastating fractures and potentially fatal falls. Alcohol directly and severely hinders natural muscle repair, which concretely means that after any physical exertion, even minimal, the body needs much more time to adequately restore damaged tissues. Alcoholic beverages also cause chronic and profound dehydration, severely compromising natural muscle flexibility and favoring the appearance of extremely painful leg cramps, especially during nighttime hours. Alcohol significantly compromises liver function, an organ directly connected to the synthesis of compounds absolutely vital for optimal health of muscle and connective tissues. The connection between alcohol consumption and weight gain is also extremely significant and concerning. Alcoholic beverages are incredibly rich in empty calories and actively promote abdominal fat formation, even in apparently moderate quantities. This extra weight heavily burdens the legs and requires greater effort from joints, severely compromising the ability for fluid and natural movement. Processed meats, silent and devastating inflammation. Crispy bacon, smoked ham, Flavorful sausages and other deli meats are part of many people's daily food routine due to their undeniable practicality and intense flavor, but they mask serious and concrete dangers for long-term leg health. Incredibly rich in sodium and loaded with potentially toxic chemical preservatives, these foods actively promote chronic and systemic inflammation throughout the body, negatively impacting joints and causing persistent and debilitating pain in leg muscles. The dramatically elevated content of saturated fats present in these products significantly reduces muscle blood flow, dangerously increases bad cholesterol levels in the blood, and severely compromises general circulation. Poor blood irrigation systematically deprives leg muscles of essential nourishment and vital oxygen, completely preventing their proper maintenance and natural regeneration. The artificial chemical preservatives present abundantly in processed meats also negatively influence glucose metabolism, drastically reducing the energy actually available for proper muscle function. The devastating effect manifests directly and immediately in the legs as persistent and chronic sensations of profound fatigue and oppressive heaviness. The situation becomes even more concerning when you consider that these foods also contribute to the accumulation of harmful toxins in the body, significantly stressing the overloaded liver and fatigued kidneys. These vital organs are fundamental for filtering chemical substances that, when accumulated over time, inevitably lead to chronic muscle fatigue and progressive strength loss. Instant noodles, convenience that costs. Dearly instant noodles seem to represent the perfect and immediate solution for those seeking practicality in meal preparation. But their devastating impact on the body, especially after 60, is extremely concerning and underestimated. Composed mainly of heavily refined flour and a myriad of artificial chemical additives, they provide practically non-existent nutritional value for the organism. The final result is a meal that may seem satisfying, but is actually extremely rich in empty calories and dramatically poor in beneficial fibers, high-quality proteins, and essential micronutrients, all absolutely fundamental components for preserving and maintaining muscle mass over time. Over the years, this type of thoughtless eating directly and inevitably causes serious deterioration of legs and general mobility. The extremely high and dangerous salt content of instant noodles represents one of the main and most serious disadvantages. A single apparently innocent serving can easily provide over half of the total recommended daily intake of this mineral. Excess sodium actively favors water retention in the body, making legs visibly swollen and constantly painful, in addition to significantly increasing blood pressure, severely obstructing adequate and healthy blood flow to muscles. The chemical additives present in the seasonings that accompany noodles represent another cause of serious health concern. Artificial preservatives, synthetic colorants, and monosodium glutamate are often linked to chronic inflammatory processes that, even if apparently minor, significantly compromise joint function and inexorably accelerate muscle deterioration. Industrial sweets. Sweet poison. Masked as pleasure. Industrially packaged cakes seem to immediately bring joy and awaken pleasant childhood memories, but they dangerously hide components that seriously and systematically damage leg health during the mature period of life. Literally packed with heavily processed sugar, artificially hydrogenated fats, and completely synthetic preservatives that profoundly disrupt natural metabolism and chronically irritate the entire body system. The refined sugar present in industrial quantities severely disturbs natural insulin function and actively promotes excess body fat accumulation. This phenomenon not only inevitably causes problematic overweight, but also creates an extremely unfavorable and hostile metabolic environment for adequately maintaining muscle strength over time. The massive presence of artificial trans fats which are specifically used to improve flavor and drastically extend shelf life, represents another extremely critical and dangerous aspect. These artificial fats significantly lower protective good cholesterol and dangerously raise destructive bad cholesterol, severely and systematically compromising blood flow throughout the body. Poor and inadequate circulation constantly deprives leg muscles of absolutely necessary nutrients and makes them deteriorate inexorably in the long term. Regular and continuous consumption of industrial sweets is also directly linked to persistent and chronic inflammation, which represents one of the main and most devastating causes of muscle weakness and continuous joint pain. Chemical emulsifiers, artificial stabilizers, and synthetic colorants, among other toxic ingredients, negatively influence the immune system and cause inflammatory reactions that primarily and severely impact leg joints. Ultra-processed cheeses, false nutrition in disguise. Spreadable cheeses with intense flavor, perfectly uniform processed slices, and melted cheeses with creamy consistency, despite appearing incredibly convenient and undisputedly tasty, hide serious and concrete risks for those who desperately want to maintain leg strength after passing 60. Dramatically rich in harmful sodium and dangerous saturated fats, these artificial foods simultaneously and devastatingly strike both the muscular and vascular systems. The sodium present in excessive quantities actively promotes problematic water retention and dangerously increases blood pressure, while saturated fats significantly compromise the natural flexibility of blood vessels, completely preventing optimal and healthy circulation. Legs progressively become more swollen, constantly uncomfortable, and chronically heavy as a direct result of this toxic combination. Ultra-processed cheeses often contain a variety of artificial preservatives and chemical phosphates that drastically alter the delicate and natural mineral balance of the body. Calcium and magnesium, two absolutely vital minerals for effective muscle contraction and optimal bone health, are directly and severely compromised by these chemical additives. The fundamental difference between these industrial products and traditional artisanal cheeses is enormous and significant. While natural cheeses better maintain their beneficial nutritional profiles, ultra-processed ones undergo intensive industrial methods that drastically reduce their real nutritional density. Industrial ice cream, dangerous cold for your legs. Industrial ice creams definitely represent one of the most popular and sought-after desserts on hot summer days, or as a satisfying conclusion to a meal. But they constitute a large and underestimated threat to the specific health of legs after reaching 60. These commercial products are extremely caloric and profoundly inflammatory, containing significant amounts of saturated fats combined with alarming levels of heavily refined sugar. This type of thoughtless eating causes dramatic and sudden increases in blood sugar, immediately followed by rapid and devastating drops that seriously risk the fundamental energy stability of muscles. This continuous metabolic instability progressively makes legs weak, chronically heavy, and dramatically more susceptible to fatigue even during apparently simple physical activities. Commercial ice creams, particularly those of low quality produced with cheap ingredients, contain saturated fats that systematically damage the cardiovascular system as a whole. Blood-rich and vital oxygen has enormous difficulty effectively reaching the body's extremities, specifically including the legs that desperately need it. The devastating result is a persistent sensation of numbness, annoying tingling, and painful cramps that can last for hours. In the long term, this chronic circulatory deficit causes progressive muscle weakening, significant mobility loss, and a dramatic increase in the risk of dangerous falls. Milk chocolate, daily sweet deception. Creamy and sweet milk chocolate is part of many people's daily food routines as a relaxing dessert or small pleasure during the day. But its regular and apparently innocent use can have a much more serious and harmful effect than initially appears, especially on the legs of people who have passed 60 years of age. Incredibly rich in refined sugar and loaded with harmful saturated fats, this type of commercial chocolate actively promotes devastating inflammatory mechanisms that directly and negatively influence delicate joints and essential muscles. The dangerous combination of elevated glucose and bad fats creates a serious metabolic overload that actively promotes the progressive decline of natural muscle power. The dramatically low content of real cocoa in commercial milk chocolate represents another significant and concerning problem, since it's exactly in pure cocoa where the really beneficial and protective antioxidants are concentrated. The vast majority of commercial versions available in supermarkets produce a highly processed and artificial final product, literally loaded with chemical preservatives and completely artificial sweeteners. These chemical compounds not only damage vital organs like the liver and pancreas, but also significantly disturb the absorption of fundamental nutrients for optimal muscle health. The final result is chronically fatigued legs, completely devoid of natural vigor, and dramatically more susceptible to persistent pain and debilitating stiffness. Canned foods. Hidden toxic convenience. Canned foods, despite their undeniable and great convenience for quick meal preparation, contain a myriad of chemical and artificial ingredients that can significantly and permanently compromise leg health in advanced age. The vast majority of these commercial products includes potentially dangerous chemical preservatives like sodium benzoate and nitrites, in addition to artificial colorants, excessive amounts of refined salt, and a variety of other unknown chemical substances. These artificial substances are proven to be highly inflammatory and systematically damage muscle and vascular health in the long term. Consumed frequently and regularly, they severely obstruct the natural muscle regeneration process and make adequate and healthy oxygenation of leg muscles practically impossible. The additional salt, present in industrial quantities in canned products, actively promotes problematic water retention, representing one of the main causes of the oppressive sensation of heavy and chronically uncomfortable legs. This fluid retention not only causes significant physical pain, but can also clearly indicate inadequate circulation and concerning tissue inflammation. The loss of nutritional quality represents another extremely concerning aspect of canned foods. Even meats and vegetables preserved in cans undergo intensive industrial processes that systematically eliminate most of their natural and beneficial nutrients. What remains is essentially a food product poor in essential minerals and vital vitamins, but extremely rich in toxins that the body must laboriously fight to eliminate. Filled cookies and processed snacks, devastating empty calories. Irresistibly flavored, filled cookies and colorful and crunchy processed snacks are part of many people's daily snacks. However, after reaching 60, their regular consumption can literally accelerate the progressive loss of leg strength in an alarming way. These commercial foods are true and ruthless aggressors of the human body, being completely packed with artificial and chemical substances like synthetic colorants, artificial flavorings, toxic preservatives, and chemical stabilizers. Not only do these compounds chronically and systematically irritate the body, but they also severely stress vital organs like the overloaded liver and fatigued kidneys, directly and significantly disturbing blood circulation and optimal absorption of absolutely necessary nutrients for proper leg muscle function. These industrial products are dramatically poor in essential minerals, high-quality proteins, beneficial fibers, and incredibly rich in completely empty and harmful calories. In simpler words, they provide an enormous amount of useless calories and very little nourishment that's actually useful for the organism. For elderly people, this nutritional imbalance is particularly harmful and dangerous, since the mature body no longer conserves nutrients with the same efficiency it had during youth. The massive presence of artificial trans fats, the type of synthetic fat used abundantly in these commercial products, represents another significant and alarming problem. This type of completely artificial fat is recognized as one of the most powerful and devastating inflammatory factors in the modern Western diet. Monosodium glutamate, the hidden and dangerous saboteur. From industrial ready-made seasonings to instant noodles of every type, passing through packaged meat broths, commercial soup packets, and a myriad of ready-to-eat frozen meals, modern industrialized foods literally abound with artificial monosodium glutamate. Although this chemical additive is specifically intended to enhance and intensify the flavor of processed foods, its real and documented effects on the human body go dramatically well beyond simple taste improvement. For people who have passed 60 years of age, regular and continuous intake of monosodium glutamate can be extremely harmful and dangerous, particularly for the delicate and essential muscles of the legs. Glutamate directly and negatively influences absolutely vital neurotransmitters that precisely control muscle contraction through the body's complex neurological system. Those who are genetically more susceptible to this artificial chemical substance may regularly suffer from debilitating muscle pain, intense headaches, annoying tingling, and profound and persistent general fatigue. When these devastating impacts specifically manifest in the legs, they produce oppressive sensations of weight, muscle stiffness, and sometimes slight involuntary tremors. The problem dramatically worsens with age, as the body progressively becomes more susceptible to these excitotoxic chemical substances that directly damage neurons. Monosodium glutamate also causes persistent and chronic inflammation throughout the body, specifically striking essential joints, muscles, and blood vessels. The two most dangerous vitamins for your legs. Now we finally arrive at the most important and shocking revelation of this entire video. There are two specific vitamins that, if taken in excessive quantities, can be extremely harmful and dangerous for the strength and stability of your legs. This information could completely shock you because it goes against everything you've probably always believed regarding vitamin supplements. Excess vitamin A. The hidden danger. Vitamin A is undisputedly necessary and fundamental for several crucial bodily functions, specifically including optimal vision, robust immunity, and perfect skin integrity. However, taking too much vitamin A, especially through concentrated supplements, can be extremely harmful and lead to a series of devastating negative consequences, including direct and serious effects on essential leg muscles. Beyond 60, the mature body struggles significantly more to effectively metabolize and completely expel excess of this fat-soluble vitamin, dramatically increasing the probability of dangerous accumulation in the overloaded liver and delicate joints. Intense and persistent muscle pain, particularly concentrated in the legs and back, represents one of the most common and recognizable symptoms of vitamin A hypervitaminosis. This specific and debilitating pain derives directly from excess vitamin that chronically inflames delicate muscle tissues and can be easily confused with degenerative joint problems or spinal difficulties. Beyond constant physical pain, evident and unmistakable signs that the fundamental nutritional balance has been severely disturbed include progressive muscle weakness, significant difficulties climbing stairs, problems walking even short distances, or getting up after being seated for prolonged periods. Chronic excess of vitamin A also severely hinders the absorption of other absolutely vital minerals, specifically including essential magnesium and calcium. Without these fundamental minerals in adequate quantities, leg muscles cannot contract and relax properly, inevitably favoring the development of chronic fatigue, painful spasms, and debilitating leg cramps, especially during nighttime hours. Excess. Vitamin D, the other side of the coin. Vitamin D is often directly linked to optimal bone health and proper immune system function, and is particularly recommended and prescribed for elderly people. However, very few people realize that taking too much can have serious negative and devastating effects, even specifically on legs and general mobility. Vitamin D hypervitaminosis derives from excessive accumulation of this fat-soluble vitamin in the body, usually caused by excessive and medically uncontrolled supplementation. Intense and persistent muscle pain represents one of the most recognizable key symptoms of this dangerous imbalance, systematically accompanied by progressive weakening and significant loss of natural motor coordination. Dramatic excess of vitamin D can directly lead to dangerously elevated calcium levels in the blood, a serious medical condition technically called hypercalcemia. This mineral imbalance inevitably results in leg muscle stiffness, muscle burning sensation, painful and persistent cramps, chronic joint pain, and a variety of related and debilitating symptoms. Hypercalcemia directly and negatively impacts delicate muscles and essential nerves, severely compromising the precise electrical impulses that direct and coordinate all natural body movements. Excess vitamin D can also cause completely unnecessary calcification of vital soft tissues, specifically including leg muscles and tendons. Final conclusion and call to action. If you found this video extremely useful and illuminating for better understanding your health situation, and you absolutely want to continue receiving the highest quality content on health and wellness that can really make a difference in your daily life, I warmly urge you to immediately subscribe to the channel. This channel was created specifically and dedicatedly to help you become a significantly healthier person, with a decidedly superior quality of life and optimal overall well-being. My main objective and fundamental mission is to constantly assist you in your personal wellness journey, providing you with accurate information, practical advice, and effective strategies that you can immediately implement in your daily life. Also, absolutely activate the notification bell so you never miss even one of the upcoming videos I'll publish, because each of them will contain precious information that could literally transform your health. Always remember this fundamental concept. The health of your legs after reaching 60 depends enormously and directly on the specific food choices you make every single day of your life. It's not just the big decisions that count, but also those small daily choices that seem insignificant, but accumulate over time. Systematically avoiding these dangerous foods we've analyzed in detail and paying particular attention to the precise dosage of vitamins you take can literally make the fundamental difference between maintaining your precious autonomy and independence and gradually but inexorably losing the mobility that is so essential for a satisfying and full life. Effective and intelligent prevention starts right today, right now, with every single conscious choice you make when you sit at the table. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't postpone until next Monday. Don't look for excuses to procrastinate. Your health and your future well-being depend on the decisions you make at this precise moment. Every bite you bring to your mouth is an opportunity to nourish your body positively or to damage it further. Every time you choose a fresh and natural food instead of an industrially processed product, you're concretely investing in the strength and stability of your legs for years to come. Think of your body as a precision machine that deserves the best possible fuel. You would never fill it with poor quality gasoline, so why would you do the same with the food you eat? Your muscles, your joints, your bones need specific and high quality nutrients to function at their best potential. Gradually but constantly replacing these harmful foods with healthier alternatives will not only improve the strength of your legs, but will also have incredible benefits on your entire body. You might notice an increase in energy, a reduction in general inflammation, an improvement in mood, and an overall sensation of greater vitality and well-being. Remember that every small positive change you make today will transform into great benefits tomorrow. Consistency and perseverance are the keys to success in this health transformation journey. You don't necessarily have to completely overhaul your diet overnight, but you can start by making one substitution at a time. For example, instead of taking the usual industrial cookie as a snack, you could opt for a handful of fresh nuts or a seasonal fruit. Instead of refined white bread, you could choose a whole grain version or one prepared with ancient grains. These small changes, repeated day after day, will create extraordinary results over time. It's also important that you understand that this doesn't mean completely giving up the pleasure of food. Rather, it's about making smarter and more conscious choices, finding tasty and healthy alternatives, rediscovering the authentic flavors of unprocessed foods. You might be surprised at how delicious natural foods can be when your palate gets used to their genuine flavors. The most important aspect of this entire journey is awareness. Now that you know the truth about these foods and these two potentially dangerous vitamins, you have the power to make informed choices. Knowledge is truly power when it comes to your health, and now you have the necessary tools to make decisions that will protect and improve the strength of your legs. Never underestimate the impact that your daily food choices can have on your future quality of life. Every day, you choose foods that nourish and support your muscles instead of damaging them. You're building a solid foundation for aging in a healthy, active, and independent way. Your mobility and independence are priceless treasures that deserve to be carefully protected. Don't let poor eating habits deprive you of the freedom to move, to explore, to fully enjoy life. You have the power to positively influence your future through the choices you make today. Finally, remember that support and encouragement from a community can make a difference in your journey toward better health. That's why I invite you once again to join our community by subscribing to the channel and actively participating with comments and questions. Together, we can support each other on this journey toward a healthier and more satisfying life. Your health is your most precious asset, and it deserves every effort you can dedicate to it. Start today taking care of your legs and your body in the way they deserve, and prepare to enjoy a better quality of life for many years to come. Your future self will thank you for the wise choices you make today. I would love to hear what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any content, and thanks for watching this video.